Greetings, cadets. Welcome to a very rainy New Orleans, Louisiana. It is 3 o'clock in the afternoon and we are parked at Gate 11 at Louis Armstrong International Airport. We've had a wonderful few weeks experiencing all New Orleans has to offer, but the show must go on, and today we'll be moving on to our next destination of Roswell, New Mexico, as we continue west across the US. Our flight today will take us 755 nautical miles from Louis Armstrong International, ICAO code Kilo Mike Sierra Yankee, to Roswell International Air Center, ICAO code Kilo Romeo Oscar Whiskey, with the flight time of about 2 hours. We'll be expecting pretty much the same weather conditions at our destination, so this will be one flight with a little bit of hot sauce sprinkled onto our landing gear, just to make things interesting. The airfield we'll be landing at is also one of those aircraft graveyards. So, let's hope our little 737-600 doesn't become a permanent resident, what with alien sightings and adverse weather conditions floating about. Should be a hoot. Let's jump into our wee little Boeing and get ourselves a-going. So, this be us in the cockpit. We've got some rain on the windscreens. Looks like we'll be using the wipers today. Going overhead, let's get the show on the road. Batteries we can go on, and emergency heat on and guard along with the batteries. Okay, from there we are going to request ground power, going down to the FMC. We're going to go to FS Actions Ground Services and request the ground power unit. Once that's connecting, we can go upstairs. We can wait for this little light. Where is it? This little light, there it is, to turn on. Right. We are now operating off the ground power unit. There it is over there on front of the nose of the aircraft. Once we've got that connected, we can go overhead and select these two onto nav and this onto heading, and the inertial navigation system is aligning. From there, let's just zero the overheads view again. The pro boots we're going to turn on all six. Yes, all six switches. The dome light, let's just turn it on to dim so we get some light in here, because it's a bit dark, just a touch dark. Alright, now what I did there was I accidentally switched the gear button, which is very close to the center view button, which is F on the keyboard. That is could be disastrous, raising the landing gear when you're on the ground. Okay, let's go ahead and plan our flight. Going down to the FMC, we're going to go to FMC, or we're going to go to a pause init. We're going to go to set up our position, and next page we're going to grab these coordinates into the scratch pad, previous page, and drop them into there. Okay, our reference airport, where we are now, Louis Armstrong International, is KMSY. We're going to put that in there. KMSY. That can go in. We are at gate 11. Let's see if it will accept it. Not in database. Fine, we don't need it to accept it. Our route origin is KMSY, and we will be flying to Crow, K-R-O-W, Kilo Romeo Oscar Whiskey. Kilo Romeo Oscar and Whiskey. Company route we're not going to worry about. runway. We're going to check on this now. Flight number, we're not going to worry about. Neither of those up there we need to worry about. Only the runway we need to worry about. So, let's have a look at a little nav map. I'm looking at the current wind. So it looks like we're going to be taking off on runway 29. I'm sure it's going to be 29 because of the direction of the wind. But we are going to verify that by going to the ATC. We're going to just tune the ATIS just to check that we are going to be taking off on runway 29.
New Orleans Airport information, Mike 2000 Zulu. Wind 0901 at 1 tree. Visibility 10 in heavy rain. Sky condition, ceiling 1,600 feet broken. Temperature 16.
Okay.
Dew point 10.
Oh, I got it the wrong way around. We're taking off on runway 11.
Runway 11 in use.
Obviously.
Landing and departing runway 11.
Rookie mistake.
VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All
Okay,
aircraft
so we
read
might
back call short instructions.
get an issue taking off IFR, but we'll override that. Because these are certainly IFR conditions. But we're basically flying an IFR aircraft in VMC using instruments in the instrument ratings. So we can go back to ground. Alright, so we'll be taking off on runway 11. Okay. Sweet. Right, so let's go to our legs. We're gonna put our destination straight in and then worry about the particulars on our descent. K-R-O-W Roswell. We can activate that and execute that. Okay, so we're now going to go to this page, our zero fuel weight. We're going to go first. We're going to do the usual half a tank of fuel with a full load. And we can put that straight in there. Altitude will be going at 30,000 feet today. 300 flight level. Our reserves, we're going to go for 5, and our cost index 50. And we're going to execute that. Going to our N1 limit, we don't ignore everything here. 5 degree flat for takeoff, and I'm sure we're going to get 1, 2, 3 at the usual takeoff speeds, rotate speed of 129 knots. Our center of gravity is going to be 23.7. We'll put that in. And we'll have the usual 5.57 trim. Let's set that up now. For any of you who have been watching me for any amount of time, you'll be following along with these steps and know exactly what's coming next. .57, I think that looks good there. I'm happy with that. Up we go. So that's it. That's the FMC and the initial flight calculations and computations done. There is Crow. 759 nautical miles according to this screen, whereas earlier I said 755. But there we go. So from there we can move on to the next step. So we're just going to pop over to the autopilot in the middle, and we're going to program our altitude to 30,000 feet. Once we reach 30,000 feet, I do believe there are thunderstorms around. Just to verify that we are on live weather, so this is actual weather taking place at the time of this flight at New Orleans and Roswell. I've been looking forward to a nice adverse weather flight. So 30,000 feet. the heading. We're just going to put that on in our general direction of flight.
Pushback request accepted.
The indicated airspeed, we're going to go 250 up until 10,000. Of course, we're not going to worry about now. We can go ahead and turn the flight directors on. Remember I said the autopilot tells the aircraft what to do it. The flight directors tells the aircraft how to do it. Fascinating. So, that's the autopilot all taken care of. What we need to do next, the auto throttle is set. We're going to turn the auto throttle on so long. Are we going to press B to set the... Yes, we're basically at sea level on this runway. We're very close to the sea.
New Orleans ground, Cessna November 9er 3928, requesting the end of pushback.
Okay, once that's done, we're going to go overhead.
3928 request to end pushback received.
Let's turn the seat belts on. We're also going to turn the anti-collision lights on because we are now going to let everyone on the ground know that we are going to fire this aircraft up. Cruising altitude.
New Orleans ground, Cessna November 9er 3928 with November request taxi to the active east departure.
Will be 30,000 feet. Our landing altitude.
Cessna November 9er 3928 taxi to and hold short of runway 11 using taxiway Alpha. Contact tower on 119.5 when ready.
When ATC is finished, our airport elevation of Roswell is 3,665 feet. That's the runway. So we're going to key that here. I don't think we've yet landed at an airfield this high off sea level. Have we? I don't think we have. I think this is the highest. The highest so far. Because we've been sticking to the coast most of the time on our trip here. All the way from Cape Town. So we'll go 3650. That is the cabin pressure set. Right, let's go ahead and fire up the APU, which again, the APU is the aircraft's third jet engine. Is it a jet engine? Pretty much. That's in the tail of the aircraft, which is solely to power the aircraft before the main engines are turned on. It also provides compressed air to spin the turbines up so the fuel can catch on. That's a very basic description of the APU. So we want to turn one of the fuel pumps on so we can get some fuel going to it. Otherwise it's not going to turn on. APU and to start. What we're then doing is waiting for the EGT to spin up. It'll initially go up to about 6.5 and then settle on 4. When that happens, this little light will come on here. Then we can tell the aircraft, please get your power from the APU. Then we can disconnect from the ground power. There she goes. You can hear her turning on and you can see the exhaust gases coming out of the tail. Don't need that anymore. Note, the sound you are hearing is the APU turning on, the third jet engine in the tail. If you pay attention, the main engines are still off, although they are... I think it's the breeze that's turning the fans like that. You can see our rotational beacon on the top. Those are the navigation lights. Not the navigation lights, those are the anti-collision lights. Right, so if we have a look here, we can see APU gen is available. We're going to go 1, 2. Now the aircraft is getting its power from the APU, and we can switch that up here. Okay, we want a bit of lights, woo, on our panels, not that much. Let's adjust that if we can. This is very finicky. I remember this always being Hey! There we go. Easy does it. We don't want too much. Circuit breaker, those are the breakers behind us. We don't have to really worry about those. Okay, and that's the overhead panel. The panel in front of us, the lights are down here. Just a moment, there we go. And we got a bit of light on the subject. A nice, cozy feeling now. Right, so going back overhead. APU is on. Right, now we can disconnect the ground power. We don't have to worry about disconnecting ground power here. We're going to go straight down to the FMC, go to menu, we're going to go to FS Actions, ground services, so we can say ground power, you can now release, please. We are approaching pushback now, so at this point the aircraft is running under its own power, which has been produced by the engine and the tail. So from here we can pretty much tell them to disconnect the jetway, the stairs, and bid us farewell. So let's disconnect the stairs. FS Actions, ground services, we were there, and we can go release. Right. Stairs are being retracted, the doors are now closed, we are now on our own. Back overhead. Okay, position lights, we can turn those on to steady. I think they were on steady. It's a bit complicated, this system here. I'm going to turn our logo on, why not? Everything else is fine. Taxi lights I might as well turn on because we are like very close to doing so. At this point I think we can contact ATC and get our clearance to taxi. We are departing to the west. Now, this is where we might have an issue
with November request taxi to the active departure
with
to the
airport
west.
being IMC.
Commander 532 taxi 2 and hold short of runway 11 via taxiway Alpha. Contact tower on 119.5 when ready.
You see, they are comfortable that we know how to handle ourselves in a VFR flight in IFR conditions. There we go. A bit of a tongue twister there, but there we go.
Taxiing hold short runway 11 via taxiway Alpha, Commander 532.
Okay, and yes, these are they IFR conditions? The visibility is... yeah, I would say these are IFR conditions. Okay, our aircraft's ready to go. So, we want to turn the rest of the fuel pumps on now. We're also going to turn the hydraulic pumps on. And we're going to turn the APU bleed on. And we are now going to bring over a little nav map. And we're just going to have a gander, a quick gander. See, we're in a bit of a dead end here. So we're going to be reversing back this way. Tail to our left, nose to the right, but we want to measure from here, measure distance from here to this point, which is going to be, I think, let's make it 270 feet. Thank you, little nav map. Right, so we know how this works. We're going to go back to the FMC menu, FS Actions. We're going to go push back 270 feet. I did say 270 feet. Yes, 270 feet, and we'll put that up here, distance to taxi line. For some reason it says, did I say 295? 270 please. It says no, it won't accept anything less than 295. That's interesting. Okay, well then we'll just have to do 295. Let's see what happens. Select tug. It's not going to be straight out. We're going to have a standard L. We're going to turn nose to the right, please. Units feet, that is feet, yes. Let's try that once more time. 270. Yeah, it doesn't like anything less than 295, which is unusual. Okay, we are ready to go.
Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail to our left.
Now this plane is very close. Look at the wing. But it is missing.
New Orleans ground, Cessna November 5141 Foxtrot requesting pushback.
Brakes released.
Cessna November 5141 Foxtrot pushback request accepted.
Okay. Waiting for action.
Brakes
New
released. Here
Orleans
we go.
ground southwest.
Right, we are going... we are moving back, so we can go ahead and
Southwest
fire up
809er taxi to gate 22 via
engine 2.
taxiway. New Orleans ground jet speed 286 requesting pushback.
Right, let's see how close we're going to get to this aircraft over here.
Taxiing to gate 22 via taxiway southwest 809er.
Go ahead and fire up that engine. There it is. We are turning engine 1.
New Orleans ground
Looks
Cessna
like it's
November
working.
5141 Foxtrot requesting the end of pushback. Cessna November 5141 Foxtrot request to end pushback received.
Thank you, New Orleans. It's been a pleasure. And
New Orleans
fire
ground
that one up.
Cessna November 5141 Foxtrot with November ready to taxi IFR.
Parking brakes.
Cessna November 5141 Foxtrot taxi 2 and hold short of runway 11 via taxiway Delta cross runway 29er Alpha. Contact tower on 119er decimal.
Okay, engines are humming along.
Alright, steering pin is disconnected. Watch for the slip release from guidance on your left. Have a good flight.
Thank you, you too. That's like telling a waiter to enjoy their food also.
Taxiing hold short runway 11 using taxiway Delta cross runway 29er Alpha.
Okay.
41 Foxtrot.
The arses of some of these planes look awfully close to the taxi line, but we'll pay attention as we're going past.
November ready to taxi IFR.
Right, we need to taxi to runway 11. Let's have another quick gander at a little nav map. Let's just get this a bit larger. Straight, T-junction, left. All the way to the end of runway 11, and we're going to be taking off in easterly direction. Straightforward. Unfortunate, but straightforward. Okay.
Jet speed 286, hold position caution for Boeing 737 on the taxiway.
Yeah, I think that's me. Okay, we can turn the parking brakes off now. Hello. There we go.
Ground, Spirit Wings, tree 5 taxi to the gate.
Right, let's add a little bit of juice and get this
Spirit
thing
Wings, tree 5 taxi.
get this thing rolling.
1 using taxiway. Taxi to gate 21 via taxiway Spirit Wings, tree 5. Hold position jet, speed 286.
Okay, some things we have forgotten to do, but we can do that while we are taxiing. Oh, we're going to go upstairs and we can now turn the airpacks on,
286, continue taxi.
APU bleed off, and we can take the power.
Jet speed 286, hold position caution for Boeing 737 on the taxiway.
Now the aircraft is getting its power from the main engines,
286, continue taxi.
and meaning we can now turn off the APU. There we go. We'll be fine with that wing.
Roger jet, speed 286.
Alright, all looking
Jet
good.
speed 286,
Is it still
hold
raining?
position
The
caution for
rain
Boeing
seems to have
737 on
gone.
the taxiway.
But if the rain comes back, we
Jet speed 286, continue taxi.
The wipers are working.
Roger, jet speed 286. Jet speed 286, hold position, caution, the Boeing 737.
If you noticed on the bottom right of the screen there, it looks like they gave me a
286, continue taxi.
achievement of some sort called road trip. Apparently I've taxied aircraft a total of 100 miles. Impressive.
Roger, jet speed 286. Jet speed 286, hold position, caution, the Boeing 737 on the taxiway.
Are these people all behind me? Must be that guy over there.
Jet speed 286, continue taxi.
I must be going too slow. Right, let's throttle this thing up.
Jet speed 286, hold position, caution, the Boeing 737 on the taxiway.
Okay, while ATC has a cadenza about us being here, let's
Jet speed 286, continue taxi.
get the flaps to 5 degrees. That's 1, that's 2,
286, hold position, caution, the Boeing 737
and
on the
3.
taxiway. Jet speed 286, continue taxi.
The rejected takeoff, we're on off. I don't want that on right now.
Roger, jet speed 286.
I hope nothing's slowing us down because I'm at 33% throttle just to taxi at a decent speed. Fascinating. Right, this is the runway that we'll be taking off on. And we got a long way to go. We're probably going to speed this little section up for you. Okay, we have almost reached the end of the very long taxi. And while we're doing the elephant in the room, why Roswell? Because it's Roswell. We're on our way to LAX and Roswell is pretty much halfway. And yes, why Roswell? It's because of the aliens. Roswell gained international fame for the alleged UFO incident in 1947. It was reported that a flying disc crashed on a ranch near Roswell. The incident remains a subject of debate and speculation about extraterrestrial life. Something I did not know though, I always thought that Area 51 was close to Roswell. Apparently it's not. But I'm not the American here. Apparently Area 51 is in Nevada. Fascinating. Okay, so there is an aircraft in front of us that is waiting for clearance and seems to be flashing his lights. Okay, so we're not hearing any radio chat at this point because they'll be on the tower frequency. So let's try and do that ourselves. Let's go into tower. There was an aircraft that just landed.
Cessna November 5, 141, Foxtrot altimeter 29.74, wind 0901 at 1 tree. Cleared for takeoff runway 11.
Okay, we have a bit of a queue here that we're going to have to wait for other aircraft.
121.9 Cessna 39 Lima. Goodbye.
Okay, we can creep forward. Can we? No, not yet.
Cessna November 5, 141 Foxtrot. New Orleans Tower, United 823, 15 miles west inbound ILS runway 11 approach. United 823 New Orleans Tower. Altimeter 29.74,
we picked a busy time.
Runway 11 approach.
Okay, I think the rain is coming down now, so we're going to put our wipers on intermittent.
Runway 11 approach United 823.
Right, can we take off, please?
New Orleans Tower Commander 532 at runway 11 ready for departure, west departure.
Commander 532, line up and wait.
Okay, thanks, bub.
Line up and wait, Commander 532.
Okay, let's
Cessna 41 Foxtrot contact New Orleans departure on 133.15. Good day.
Okay, so the aircraft in front of us is in the air, but it needs to get some distance before we take
Going to
off.
133.15 Cessna 41 Foxtrot.
If you notice, these wipers are not having any effect on these raindrops on the window. It's a poor one on you, Flight Sim, unless it's PMDG. They're going. And I'm overshooting the runway, aren't I? No! Okay, these wipers are now annoying me. Let's turn them off. We're still waiting for takeoff clearance, so we can afford to fuff about. Okay, now we see...
Commander 532, wind 0901 at 1 tree. Departure to the west approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 11.
Okay, we have our clearance for takeoff. But hold on to your socks, everyone. Patience.
Cleared for takeoff runway 11, Commander 532.
Right, hold on 1 second. Landing lights on, and we're gonna go TCAS on. Be patient with me, ATC, and we're on our
New
way.
Orleans Tower jet speed 286 at runway 11 ready for departure IFON to San Antonio. Jet speed 286, line up and wait.
Off we go. Now that's a bit more realistic. The raindrops going up the windscreen. Bloody useless wipers, those were, that's all.
Speed 286.
129 rotation speed. There's V1. Cheerio, New Orleans. Gear up. I think we're going to do a left turn out here. And we're going to immediately
Continue for west departure.
disappear into the clouds. Let's not bother with them yet.
286 altimeter 29.74, wind 0901 at 1 tree. Cleared for takeoff runway 11.
Okay, we've already throttled back a little bit.
Commander 532, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Okay, let's start bringing the flaps up.
Takeoff runway 11, jet speed 286.
Now we're paying attention to the instruments in front of us. This is IFR flying. Okay, we need to bring those flaps all the way up. And thank you.
New Orleans Tower Commander 532 frequency change.
Alright, we can continue. We don't want to go over 250, that's what I'm paying attention to. Now let's keep that climb.
286 contact New Orleans departure on
We are doing a
133.15.
wide circle. Now, this is going to be the tricky bit. We want to activate the autopilot. We want to activate the heading. We want to activate the altitude.
133.15
And we want
jet
vertical speed
Goodbye.
of 1.8. Right, now everything's under control, we hope. We were going a bit too fast. I can now let go of the stick. The aircraft has control. And we are smack in the middle of the clouds. Okay, so if we look down here, we're lining up. Also, what I'm going to do is leave the frequency if I can. No, I'm not going to leave the frequency. So I'm staying on heading select now, before we go over to LNAV, because our turnout was a little wider than the aircraft wanted. So this is why I do a little overshoot with the heading. So I've got it intersecting the line slightly. But we're very close now. At this point we can probably go on to LNAV. And I'm going to do that now. The moment I press this button here, she should do a little dance to the left. There it comes, the little dance to the left. All she's going to do is expedite the what's the word I'm looking for? She's going to expedite her path to the course, the correct course, to the magenta line. Okay, we are hovering on 249. We're at the limits of the allowed speed. We're going to be climbing all the way up to 30,000 feet. When we're going to get out of these clouds, we'll have to see. I don't know how high these clouds go up. We've got a crosswind from the left now, as you can see over here. 30 knot crosswind. Okay, it's getting quite dark out the windows now. We cannot see a thing. This is instrument flying. Well, if we had the autopilot off. This is autopilot flying. Okay, landing gears up. We're going to return it to the off position. Now that we're on the air, we're in the air, not on the air, in the air. We're going to do a just double check of everything upstairs. That all looks good to me. Yaw damper. We forgot about the yaw damper. We'll turn that on. Not a train smash. We would have just been a bit more wobbly in the tail, is all.
New Orleans Tower, southwest, 78516 miles west, inbound ILS runway 11 approach.
Yeah, we are in the thick of it.
Southwest 785 New Orleans Tower. Altimeter 29.70, wind 0907 at 14.
Climbing through 9,000 now.
Cleared ILS runway 11 approach, southwest 785.
Okay. Everything looks under control. Oh, look at that. That is a sight. Sure picked a hell of a day to make this flight. Okay, we're going through 10,000 now. We can turn the landing lights off. And we can turn the taxi lights off. And we can up our speed to 330. Ooh. A bit of an eager beaver. Yeah, let's make it 330 on the nose. And we'll leave it at that. We'll go into our cruise mode now. Hopefully we will rise above these clouds. If we don't, I will go higher.
How do you do, young fellow? And how would you like to go and spend a pleasant summer out in New Mexico?
All right, it's that time again. It is time to descend. I don't know about you, but the weather seems to have cleared up awfully well. Beautifully. However, we shall see what lies ahead because the forecast for Roswell was still cloudy and rainy. Let's not get caught by surprise like we were on our approach into Havana. Remember that. Okay, so the usual master caution fuel light is on. We can go up stairs and turn the center tanks off. The center tanks are empty, so we only have the wing tanks to rely on now. As we can tell by down here. Center tanks empty. We still have fuel in the wings. Less fuel in the left wing than we do in the right wing. Does everyone remember why? It's because we fired up the APU with only the left wing's petrol. So we used a little bit of the fuel in the left wing just to run the APU before the main engines were started. Full marks for you, Johnny. Right. Let's begin this descent. So there's some cloud up ahead. There we go. Right, now, my usual approach into an airport is from 2,500 feet. That's usually where you would enter the green feather that is present on the airport charts. Now, because Roswell is at a field elevation of 3,600 feet above sea level, we then need to do a little bit of a calculation and say, let's make it 6,000 feet that we're aiming for. 6,000 feet will roughly be about 2,500 feet above the ground, not above sea level. But yes, let's begin that descent. Let's go vertical speed and down. Let's make it a healthy 1.8 and let's dial back on the mark. Just to 0.7. Now we should hear the engines throttle back beautifully. Interesting. Crop fields, crop circles, I can see everywhere. Okay, we're going at 1.8. Let's continue the rest of that descent. I just wanted to get the descent going before dialing back. And let's make it all the way down to 6,000. But you know what? Let's be safe. Let's take that back. Let's make it 7.5 for now. We don't know about hidden mountains en route, but according to little nav map, we don't have any hidden mountains we need to worry about. Okay. Beautiful. As you saw through the cruise section of the video, we were initially skimming the top of those clouds, and I was about to take us rather to 32,000 feet, and then it opened up nicely, the clouds for us. So I didn't have to interrupt the cruise sequence for the first time. But that's probably coming. Okay. Now, let's bring over a little nav map. Let's have our first look at New Mexico, or the airport called Roswell International Air Center. There is the airfield there. We have 4 runways. 2 physical runways Runway 21, which is the one we're expecting. Runway 03, runway 17, and runway 35. I do not think we'll be landing on this runway. We did have a nasty crosswind most of the way here, but now we've got a headwind. So if I were to guess, look, I don't know what the weather conditions are there at the moment, but we are heading into clouds by the look of it. We are now, let's have a look down at our FMC, and up here, 72 nautical miles away. Let's see if that corresponds. Distance to go, DTG 72. I don't think we'll be able to contact them now, but yes, here the clouds are coming. Going through 23, so we are descending at a decent rate. This is that part where we have a look at our green banana and where it is. There we go, look, our green banana is quite far in front of the airfield. Crow, Kilo Romeo Oscar Whiskey. In fact, we can shallow that descent slightly. Yeah, see, the steeper our descent, the harder more difficult it is to slow down. But we must also, you see, it was on mark for 0.7 here, but when it clicks on to indicated airspeed, that means we have gone through the transition altitude. So let's slow that down a bit more. Let's slow it down to 240 because we're going to be expecting, we're still far away from 10,000. But yeah, we're on our way. Now, let's have a look. Point your little nav map. Roswell International Air Center. The tower is 118.5. So let's see if we can dial that into the radios and see if we can pick anyone up, shall we? And hopefully we don't accidentally pick up ET. 118. Whoops. 118 per decimal. Scroll, 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 scroll. Scroll for miles. 5. And switch over. Then we open up the ATC and see if we have. There's COM1 Roswell. 118.5, but we don't have any options yet to contact the airport, so we're still too far out. We'll check that at 40 nautical miles out. And we are now 54. Should be quite soon. Okay, we're at 275 speed now, but we're still at 18.5. We just have to make sure we're at 250 by the time we reach 10,000. Otherwise the FAA will be coming after us. Let's have a look at the scenery, shall we? There was a fair deal of farmland behind us, evident of all the crop circles. But if I'm correct, we are now going into a semi-desert area. Passing through 16,000 feet. It's not often that I'm happy with the position of my green banana, but there we are. Or am I happy? No, it's too soon. shallow that dive a little more. Not a dive, sorry, wrong word. Let's shallow that descent. We don't want to tell our passengers that we're shallowing our dive. Okay, as we do that, now we're only going down at 1,500 feet per minute. We should see our speed start to decrease further. Sign of a good 737 pilot is if he doesn't need to use speed brakes to slow down. I think. If there is a real 737 pilot watching, leave a comment below. Yeah, by the time we get to 10,000 we should be at 266. We should be at 250 or below. We've got it set to 240. I kind of like these periods during the descent where it's the engines are quieter and we're just coasting down to our destination. Alright, so look, from now, okay, we're about 40 nautical miles away. I am fiffing and faffing. Let's have a look now at... We're only 39 and we're still not having any options on here to tune. Okay, we're on COM 1, Roswell, 118.5. Should I try tune the other side into the same frequency? Let's see if that'll work. I doubt it, but we'll give it a go. Whoops. Whoops. 118. A little laborious. There's way too many digits for my liking. And swap. Now that'll change up here. COM Roswell and COM Roswell. Because we need to know what runway we're landing on so we can plan our approach. Because we are now getting uncomfortably close. So you can see VHF 1, VHF 2. So we've got the two options here. We got nothing up here. What if we go on here and we go back? Okay. Alright, we'll have to do this the hard way. The old way. And we're gonna have... There we go, there it is, Crow. There we go. Full stop landing, please. We'll have to work on that.
Tower Commander 532 is 3 miles east, 11,500 feet with Oscar to land.
Aha, there it's giving us the option.
Commander 532 Roswell Tower Airport is currently IFR. Request denied.
Alright, at this point, we say, we're going to come in whether you like it or not. So we're going to have to go through that again. We're going to have to go air center. Are we going to ignore weather at this airport and full stop landing?
Roswell Tower Commander 532 is 30 miles east, 10,600 feet with Oscar to land.
We're coming in hot.
Commander 532 Roswell Tower.
Okay.
Operator 29.44, wind 273 at 24.
Runway 21, it's what we expected. Now, they say the airport is IFR, so yes. It's as we expected and the weather report was right.
Enter left base runway 21 Commander 532.
Okay, let's put that away. Action stations. Let's bring out a little nav map. There is a runway 21, so we're going to be coming in from here. So first things first, we've got these three over here. Let's start with... Okay, this will be tricky. Let's start with AQZED. So I'm going to write this down to my right here. AQZED. Now it's important that we begin this turn pretty quickly. Then we're going to line up with a Jecto. Jecto. And that's JEKTO. Jecto. Right, we have reached 6,000 feet. Well, I know that sound. Oh no, not 6,000. Our assigned 7,500. So let's put this away. Let's go down to the FMC. Everything is still under control. We're going to go legs. And now the first one we're going to put in is AQZED. A and... stupid moment. Where the hell is Q? Q is here somewhere. There it is. Right in front of me. And ZED. And we're going to put that there. Right. Let's execute that now. But we're going to go there, and then we're going to go there and execute. Right. The aircraft should be turning. There we go. We're turning in a big way. And also, let's zoom in. We're zoomed in quite fast, so we mustn't panic. Here we go. Right, so that's the first one. I just need to get that in quickly to start the turn. Now we can put in the next one, which is Jecto. So we want J, E, K, T, and O. Now where we want that? We want that in place of Crow. So we're going to put that there, then click back on Crow, and what that'll do is put Crow back in the scratch pad, and then click onto the discontinuity here. There. Execute that. Everything is now under control. Right? Now, we can see the speed brake is armed, because when I'm scrolling out, it accidentally arms it here. There we go. There is our route in. Now we are going into cloud now. So this is going to be fun. Now we're going to have to start preparing for a possible ILS landing. So going back out. So we're gonna, our plane is now flying, deviating, and it's gonna go to that one, and then that one, and then in. We want to know the ILS frequency. ILS is 109.9. Right? Our course for runway 21 is 218 magnetic. Put that aside. Okay. Pretty clouds, pretty clouds. Okay, back down here. We are now going to go with the ILS of 109.9. So let's put that in over here into the nav section. 109.9. Thank goodness it's already in 9 is decimal. And then it's 109.9 on that side too. And switch. Right, ILS is tuned. Then up onto the autopilot panel, we're going to tune 218. Scroll, 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 scroll. 218, whoop, 218 there. And we're going to have 218 here. Whoops. I'm also now going to press B. No, that's 318. Goodness gracious me. Illiterate. And I've gone right past it. I'm also going to press B on the keyboard. What that's going to do is going to set the aircraft to the local QNH. I'm going to verify that local QNH with the last ATC transmission we had. So, B, and there. Look at how our altitude has changed all of a sudden. Now the aircraft knows it's at 7.2. Now we're doing another turn to the left. We are now we need to go down. Now we need to descend. Quite rapidly actually. To 6,000 feet, because that is where we're going to intercept the ILS. And we need to slow down. We need to slow down a lot. We're going to slow all the way down to 160. Okay, we're looking good. And we're going to introduce some flap.
2,500.
Okay, we're now at 2,500. We're on the ILS. There it's the diamond there. We're now going to go to approach. We are on target. And we're going to select approach. We are on approach. And now we're going to... No, it didn't like it. Let's try that again. No, it didn't like it. Okay, that's fine. Are we going to get more flap? This is going to be touch and go. Excuse the pun. Yeah, see, the approach is not happy. Okay.
Commander 532, wind 273 at 24. Clear to land runway 21.
Clear to land. Okay. We can see the ground. We can see the ground. We are on target.
Commander 532, please acknowledge.
Okay.
Clear to land runway 21,
And
Commander
gear down.
532.
Goodness gracious me. Alright, everything's okay.
1,000. Traffic. Traffic.
JMB Aviation 902 Yankee. Contact Roswell
Oh
departure
my word.
40.35. Today.
Alright. This weather is awful. Okay, there we go. And I have the runway in sight.
Going to 120.35.
Autopilot disengage.
902 Yankee.
Sure. This.
500.
No wonder the aliens crashed.
Glide slow. Glide slow.
And there's a
Glide slow.
horrible crosswind from the right.
Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow.
Awful
Glide slow.
crosswind from the
Glide
right.
slow.
But
Glide slow.
there is our runway, and
Glide
Mr.
slow.
Glide Slow won't shut up. Horrible crosswind from the right. Awful flying conditions. But there's the runway.
200.
Thank you very much. You can see the way we're crabbing.
Wind shear.
100.
Wind shear. Wind shear.
Airspeed full. Airspeed full.
Goodness gracious me, this is awful.
40. 30.
Now, any other pilot would have aborted this landing.
Airspeed full. Airspeed full.
Should I? I think I can still make this landing.
20.
This is... Okay, there we go. Oh my goodness. Ailerons into the wind. Oh, bloody hell, reverse thrust. It is a 40 knot crosswind from the right.
Turn next taxiway.
Why did they give me this runway? Hell, we're in one piece. I don't know about the aircraft. No! Yeah, let's that is one of the most harrowing landings I've ever done in Roswell. Okay.
Commander 5 Tree, 2 contact ground on 121.9er.
Okay. Speed brakes down. We now classify as a cargo vessel due to the amount of shit that everyone shat in their pants in the back.
1670, November 10 miles northeast inbound, ILS Zulu runway 21 approach.
Let's bring those
Cessna November
flaps up.
1670, November Roswell Tower. Altimeter 29er, decimal 52 wind 27 tree at 24.
In future,
Cleared ILS Zulu runway 21 approach.
when they advise you about the weather and that the aircraft is IMC, rather listen to them, turn around, and go back and have some more Mardi Gras.
Cleared ILS Zulu
Okay,
runway 21 approach.
ATC.
Cessna 70, November.
Let's just wait here. We are off the runway.
Going to 121.9er Commander 532.
Okay, and let's turn the APU on. Tune Roswell ground. Taxi to parking. Nothing about gates, but look, to be fair, this airport doesn't have any gates.
Roswell ground Commander 532 taxi to
I
parking.
have an idea where I'm going, and that's going to be a
Commander 5
gate.
Tree, 2 taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Charlie Alpha.
We're going to go to gate F. No, that's the fuel bay. No, we're going to go to gate 100. It's not gate, it's a parking. Thank you, let's go.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Charlie Alpha Commander 532.
Right, let's bring those flaps up. Are they all the way up? Not yet, but they're on their way. As we begin the taxi of shame to the gates, everyone in the back will be on their phones, on their TikTok accounts, on their Instagrams. Oh damn, I'm so pleased I'm alive. That was harrowing. Yes, so I think we had between a 40 and 50 knot crosswind on the way in there. Now I can see, now I know why they call it that this is a aircraft graveyard. It is a fair amount of taxiing to do, and we are taxiing way above, oh my goodness, oh yes we are, way above the restricted speeds. Oh yes, look at that. Okay, so this is Roswell, New Mexico. We won't be doing a 0.5 flight here. There's not really anywhere to go. What we will be doing, this is where we're supposed to... No, it's not here, but it's coming up. It's not much of a parking. There's no jetways to use. And it will be here on our left. We're going to go left here. A very small taxiways. Two airliners are not going to pass between this taxiway and the main taxiway. And we just passed our parking. So we'll park in the parking bay 99, which is this one here. No markings at all, but this is where we are going to catch our breath. We're going to regroup, and we're going to forget about that approach. And look at these patterns in the tarmac. where other aircraft have been cremated. But here we are. We are alive, and our plane is mostly alive.
November 8310 Juliet requesting pushback.
Sure. Right. We can go ahead and put that parking brake on. It was very pretty in the way here, but my goodness, what an approach. We can go, APU is running, so we can go onto APU power, and now we can turn the engines off. From there we can go back to menu, we can go to FNC actions, we can go to ground services. It won't be jetway because there aren't any. Oh, let's put the chocks back. Now the plane is chocked. Ah, that's not going to work. We're just going to go to stairs. 1, 2. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I think everyone's still in shock.
Roswell ground, Beechcraft November 8310 Juliet, requesting the end of pushback.
Stairs. Request. There we go. Please, please, get us off this plane. In fact, now that you are arriving, all we'd have to do now is go to return. We're going to go to doors. Open the damn door. Yes, there we go. Doors open. From that point, yes, electrical, I'm not surprised. And we're going to go up. We're actually going to turn that off. That's going to turn everything off. Emergency lights will come on. Main batteries off. And that's it. I'm not sure how we can still hear the ATC, but that is it. Alright, thank you very much everyone. Hopefully we're going to have better weather on our next flight, which we will be flying to... That guy's a crazy nutter for landing in this condition. Which will be heading to LAX, the famous LAX. That's going to be something. But, yeah, thanks peeps. Cheers for now.